morning and welcome to another Fiberific live craft and chat. So much chat going on this morning before the live stream. I was having a little sneaky stalk, a bit of a, what do we call lurk? Bit of a lurk. My brain didn't give me the word for a second there. It's a standard Thursday, right? Brain's no longer functioning. So good morning to everybody who's in the chat, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Oh, wow. There's so many of you here already. So that is cool. So if you're watching in the replay, make sure you do add in the comments below. I come back and I will respond and reply. It's not quite the same as being here, but I try to make it as fun as possible. So yeah, make sure that also if you are new here, that if you are watching the live stream, just make sure you have a look down below. And if it says top chat, change that over to live chat. YouTube think they know which chat messages you want to see, but I mean, really, do we not want to see them all? Like, anyway, so we've got Sally is in the house as our mod extraordinaire, which is her handle now, which I think is fantastic. So welcome to Sally. Shared the stream. Oh, thank you, Freaky Geek. I appreciate that. Something that you forgot to do with her clocks jump. Oh no, I was so close to jumping in to its Crochet Clocks live stream the other day, but I was just like, I was so slammed getting some things done, and I was just like, I knew that if I did, I would sit here and chat and talk. I wouldn't get anything done, so I had to focus and make an adult decision, which really, really hurt. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite to do. Good morning to Creative Man. How are you going? Morning, Knit Spin Girls. I sent you an email. I hope you've got it. So yeah, I'll chat with you later about that. Wow. Freaky Geek says you have to check it out. I've been talked about. Really? I think I'll have to try and go back and watch the replay. For sure, for sure. Oh, well, it's been a huge week here. If you follow my social media over on Instagram, which I would appreciate if you would do that, if you're an Instagram user, I am at Fiberific on Instagram. You will have seen the sad post that I had to put out this week, which was our beautiful little baby boy, Louis, who is a dog. I need to clarify that for those of you that don't know, Louis is a dog. He is an 11-month-old puppy. We knew when we got him that he had been diagnosed with a heart murmur, but we'd had dogs with heart murmurs before, and they were just sort of something you had to keep an eye on, sometimes medicate, but that was about it. But you always have to get like a proper echocardiograph test done before they have their first sort of surgery, just to double check. So we're getting Louis sorted out for his neutering, and take him in for his echo. And we weren't expecting any kind of news, only to find out that Louis was actually born with a dysfunctional heart valve. So he's going to have some surgery, which was a bit of a shock. We found out that he is a very, very lucky little boy. Usually puppies with born with this particular defect, 65% of them have had heart failure before they're 1. He turns 1 next month. And so it's been a little bit of an emotional roller coaster for us. So just trying to, get my brain around that, and sort of, we've got him booked in for his surgery. It's going to cost us an absolute fortune, but the specialist said this is one of those instances where you pay for the surgery now, and he will have a full, normal, non-medicated going forward life. It's a repair. It can be fixed. So we're going to get that done, and then after that we'll get him snipped. So where are we in the chat? Lots of people showing up. Hello to everybody showing up. Hello to Savage Knits. Hello to your puppy in the picture there. Teresa, welcome back. Twilight Daggers, welcome back. John, you are visible to me. I don't know what you're talking about there, but oh, okay, I see it. SpaceX has just launched 4 civilians. Really? Okay, cool. Cool. It took me a second there to realize something else happens on a Thursday. I'm so self-centered. So this week, the other thing that happened is a whole pile of, actually all of the things that I ordered from the Big Wool Show have arrived. I thought I'd ordered 4. Turns out it was 5. Yeah, 5 different suppliers. But I still think I was quite, compared to last year, I really reined it in. And I didn't go too hard, but I feel like I was able to spread the love a little bit. So we will get into that and show you guys all of that as well. What have you been working on this week? Put it in the chat. Let me know what you've been working on, making, busy with. It doesn't have to be craft related. I know we're all humans and craft isn't everything that we do, right? So let me know in the chat here. And Freaky has also said, indeed, hit that like button and change it to top chat. So we like and subscribe and get notified. So yeah, we'll play with that. I got to play with this a bit more, that little graphic, and I found a better way to use it so that it doesn't keep looping and change speeds, which was annoying. Freaky says crafts take many forms. Absolutely, they do. Wow. Okay, so Kim is out and about being a parent, and Jackie is at work doing work. Gamer Widows has got so much going on. Advent calendars, stitch markets, and stitch markers, English language, joining a blanket together. You are doing so much. Kathy, what are you working on? It's a triangle shawl by Will May. Just starting a new project. That's so exciting. Hey, Chintamani, welcome to the chat. That is a terrifying photo of you, honestly. It's awesome, but also terrifying. Francis has got a new loom. First, we've just set up with the Fortune Yarn Company Squish bought in the show. I've got some Fortune Yarn Company over. I'll just move your comment, but I don't know if you can see. Go this way, Chantel. Oh, the squish. Oops, Freaky saying hello to Chintami. Can you guess what I've been doing mostly this week? I can't. I've been so out of the loop, Sally. I'm going to go with Stardew Valley, but I'm probably totally wrong. Crazy Aunt Nicole said, just got clue 3 for my MCAL. So much lace. Love lace. Love lace so much. Knit Spin Girls, summer is coming, so naturally I've started knitting a blanket. Well, I mean, it takes that long to get the blanket finished for winter. Like, we know this, right? Absolutely. Jennifer, welcome to the chat. I found some lovely Lopi wool in my stash. I'm looking for a traditional patterned yoke jumper to knit. Wow, you've got a lot of choices. There's so many. Creative Man has been setting up a store for, I don't know what, UTS Makers Market. Check it out. Goes live in October 15. Pop a link over in the Fiberific Fun Zone, Creative Man. Definitely interested to have a look. Granny Square Dolls from Molly. Lisby's in the chat. Oh, I was totally right. Really? Do you know what? I reinstalled it. So I was like, this week, I was like so tempted to have a game. And then I'm like, no, you got too much to do. Don't be tempted. Don't be tempted. New hobby is delivery parcel man watching. That's awesome, Chancy. Oh, wow. Lisby has taught herself to continental knit. Yes, bring on the continental knitters. Those of you that are here in the chat right now, if you knit, what style of knitting do you do? Are you a continental knitter or what's the other one called again? English knitter. So, or picker or whatever. I don't even know all the names. There's like 11 billion different styles of knitting. Whatever your style of knitting is, put it in the chat. Let me know. I'm very curious. I'm a continental knitter. And I do like a mix of both when I'm doing color work so that I can have a color on each finger. Hang on, the chat's moving quick now. Mel has started a nurtured sweater by Andrea Mowry. Hey, Tech for Your Needs, welcome to the chat. Got the wheel spindle knit and crochet out in the garden with the umbrellas popped into the bushes for shade. Spring is good, but how windy has it been the last couple of days? It's been insane. Speaking of what you made me think of then is Louis this morning was in a total whirlwind. Like for a dog with a heart defect, he runs, right? So I had the door open because I was running cables and, just generally setting up. He's come running in, bounded up. I had a little stuffed sheep up here. He's like jumped up, grabbed it in one maneuver. He's back out the door. By the time I get to him, the little stuffed sheep has already been ripped apart. I'll take a photo of the carnage out the front. I haven't had time to clean it up yet, so it's a mess. So I'm very sad because I loved it. So I went inside and got some of my little ceramic-y sheep. I figured they can have a home out here. They were just sitting in a box inside. Okay, mittens and joining Granny Square blankets. Gosh, the chat's moving. I have to jump down a bit. There's lots of people chatting. John has started the Bonnie Bay Crochet Celtic Cable Throw. Good job, John. That's a big one. We've got lots of people in here, flickers and throwers and continental, English. Josephine says, I'm a throw flicker, but I continental knit. Teresa says, I do a mix of both for colour work too. It's super helpful. It's super helpful. Kelly Pole is a continental knitter. John says, hang on, where did you go? I was a thrower, but lost that when I learned to crochet. Really? You can't knit now at all? Let me look. Lisby says, I'm not so sure I'm a crocheter at heart, but it got me creating. Yeah, absolutely it did. But like for someone who may not be a crocheter at heart, you are very good at crochet, and it's okay to not be a crocheter at heart. I think that I am a competent knitter, but I enjoy crochet more. I think I'm more of a crocheter than a knitter, but I have skills. Like I can do lots of different things, but I do definitely prefer crochet. And when I need to do something where I can't fully concentrate on it, I tend to go to crochet. I use both English and continental, but Portuguese style is so much fun and better for people with RSI. So if you're wondering what Portuguese style is, it's a style where you actually wear a little pin or some sort of, basically your yarn comes over your shoulder through the pin or up from the table and through the pin, and that's your tensioning device, and you just knit and move your stitches around and the pin keeps the tension. And it's a lot easier for people because you don't have to tension at all. And go and check it out. It's so cool. I've not tried it. I've seen it, but it looks so amazing. You definitely need to Google that one. Try and find a video on it. I'm trying to think of her name. One of the big knitting designers did a huge video on Portuguese knitting. I can't think of the name. If I think of it, I'll throw it into the fun zone. I keep talking about the fun zone. If you're new here, you may not know what the Fiberific fun zone is. That is our Facebook group, and it's free for everyone to join. You just have to answer a few questions at the start. If you don't answer the questions, you will be left in limbo. But the reason for the fun zone is so we can go in and you guys can show me and show everybody else the projects that you're working on, or get help with colors, or just help with general crafting stuff. We do really try to not have too much in the way of salesy stuff. Even I try not to put too much salesy stuff in there. If I've got a good link for something, I'll share that. But it's really meant as to be an extension of here. It's so that you guys can share with each other and continue the conversation throughout the week. So Sally has popped the link in. So if you want to right click that link and head over to the fun zone and join in, that's a really great place to hang out. Where are we? Bruce says, as far as projects go, finishing the Ron Strong mandala and a Havana shawl. Very nice. Very nice. Twilight Daggers has popped a link for the video of Portuguese in the fun zone. That will be amazing if you could put that in there. Thank you. So, yeah. So, I mean, we're here. We're hanging out. We're chilling. I've got my tea. Speaking of tea, today is the last day, if I can find the banner, because there we go. Today is the last day for our Tea for Talia, $2 off per bag of tea. And this is for Australians only. I'm sorry if you're not in Australia. But so if you go to teafortalia.net and just put Fiberifians with the S on the end into the shopping cart, you'll get $2 off every single bag. So if you bought 4 bags, you would save $8. So speaking of which, I'm on my mint tea, the mint sliced tea. But it needs a little top up with my hot tea, because I do this. I drink half the cup of tea before the live stream starts. And then I have my little tea thermos here ready to top it up so that I can continue having hot tea throughout the entire live stream without having to go inside. Okay, let's hide that. Now, does anybody else need me to keep that banner up? I'm going to pop it aside for a little while. Gosh, it's good tea. Honestly, I'm a bit of a tea snob. I'm also a bit of a coffee snob. All right. Beersheba is in the house. Hello, how's that fluffy butt going? Okay. Oh, thank you, Sally. She's popped the link in there into the chat. If you use the code Fiberifians with an S on the end, that will get you your $2 saving. Okay. I'm assuming you guys do want to see my haul. Well, I'm going to call it a haul. I wouldn't consider it a haul as such, but do you want to see what I bought from the Big Wool Show? Because everything's here. So let me know in the chat if you want to see what I bought, because I don't want to show you if you're not interested. We'll move on to something else. Fluffy is up to mischief like usual. Oh my gosh. Creative Man said, didn't ask questions, not sure if I'm in the right place. It should definitely have asked you questions. Sometimes it takes a second for those questions to come through. So we'll have a look. I'll have a look and see what happened there. So there's lots of yes, 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 duh. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the response I was truly expecting. Yeah. Beersheba, the only thing you got was from me. Oh, look, I know what it's like. Sunday afternoon was the first chance I had to shop, and just about everybody was sold out. Okay, so I'm in no particular order, okay? I'm just going to go from left to right on my chair. All right, here, let's change the camera angle. There we go. Okay. So this is what I received from Pirate Pearl Yarns. So I've got this amazing squish. It is Australian Fibre Collective. So if you guys don't know what that is, this proves this is a certification that the only way you can get it is if you can 100% prove that every step of your fibre production was done in Australia. So it's from Australian wool. It was scoured and processed in Australia. It was dyed in Australia. Okay, so that's the only way you can get that. You can't just pay for it and stick it on things. You have to prove. It's a lot of hoops to jump through. Beersheba's had to jump through all the hoops. She knows exactly what she's had to go through. But this is Australian Polworth. So we know from the interviews, if you were there, that Pirate Pearl Yarns gets all of her Polworth from Tandy. So this is my sort of half Tandy, half Pirate Pearl Yarns fluff. And I think this was the only fiber I actually bought. So, and this color, like the camera here today is being good, everybody. I mean, I did do some tweaking and playing, all right? Like I made it good on this color. So it's probably trash and everything else. But it is the most beautiful color and it's so soft. I can't wait to have a spin. And I also picked up one of her mystery bundles of minis. And we got like a little bonus in the pack as well. So I've got 7, which is gorgeous. So again, Australian Fibre Collective. I think she gets Is it right that she gets her yarn from which farm? It's the Corriedale farm. My brain won't give it to me. I can picture her face. Wow. Anyway, so this is a Corriedale 8-ply. There's 5 by 20 meters. There's 40 meters in each one. So it's a total of 100 grams. And then I've got like a couple of little bonus ones, which I actually think these colors work really well with it as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that's going to make a really gorgeous beanie, I think. So yeah, that's my goal for that one, is to make myself cloverleaf. Oh my goodness, thank you, Chad. Absolutely. So she gets her fiber from Tandy, which is a local farm, and she gets her yarns from Cloverleaf, who are also Australian Fibre Collective approved. So therefore she gets to, because she's Fibre Collective approved as well, lots of things. And she does her packaging up so beautifully. I also scored a Fibre Collective pin for supporting 100% Aussie grown and made. Her parcel came up wrapped so beautifully in like these little, like she worked so hard. Just about everybody I noticed was using the Hero packaging. Now there was also tea, which is gone. The tea is gone. It was delicious, and the tea is gone. So there is the Tandy. Oh, look at this. I'm trying to remember, and it's right there, Cloverleaf. And what's this one? Check me out. That's the Pirate Pearl. So yeah, that one, this was actually the first parcel to arrive as well, which was just so exciting. So, okay. What do you guys think of this one? And what would you make if you had 140 grams of 8-ply or DK in these amazing colors? They're so beautiful. Like, they're vibrant without being garish. Like, I love it. I love them. And they feel lovely too. I've not tried any of the Cloverleaf yarns, so I was a little, you know, it's not Andromeda soft like Fiberific Andromeda, but Fiberific Andromeda would not have the Australian Fibre Collective's tick, because I know that it's scoured outside. But it's still totally soft. Like, would I wear it next to? Yeah, I'd wear that next to my skin for sure. All right, next thing. Kerry says, I got 5 skeins of Polworth for the shawlography. Oh, nice. Freaky says, for some reason, I thought she had all fluff and not yarn as well. Yep. You guys are in for the beanie. Jennifer thinks gloves. It could work for gloves for sure. But I think I might be team beanie on this one, or a hat of some description. Okay, let's move this one back. Next is not fluffy. It's not fluffy. So do you guys remember, like, if you watched the live stream, there was the Sweater Collective where she came in one day and then we ran out of time, so she had to come back the next day. Luckily, we had like a slot for her, but it was just technical problems. It wasn't anything. She was trying to get in, but she just couldn't get in. So I ordered some of her amazing. So these are little. I mean, I didn't see it written anywhere on the website, but I assume the little tin was there. And on here, I've got like the little shawl pin option and the little bonus. This one's actually quite weighty. I don't know if I'd use it as a stitch marker. It's got a bit of heft to it. I could just about probably attack someone with it, but there's a little bonus stitch marker in there as well. But this was the gorgeous little, hang on, stitch marker necklace sets. So of course, me being me, I had to go the pineapple because I'm a Queenslander, and I went with the lobster clasps, because obviously I may crochet with it as well as knit. So it's a little necklace. So we've got that one, but we also got a little mini set, which is a little mini set of stars as well. So these are from the Sweater Collective. And I love the little box as well. Like, I love the little box. I love the packaging. Something I have learned is some of these ladies go to some serious effort. I'm like, dude, you get it in a bubble mailer. It is safe, it arrives, but some of these ladies go above and beyond for their packaging. And I'm like, is that what people really want? Or do they just want their knitting needles? I don't know. But it's really made me have a think about my packaging as well. Okay, so what do you think of those? Did you think they were cute? I wanted the bee necklace so much, Twilight Daggers, but it was sold out. It was well and truly gone. It was gone. Freaky says, I like the stars. I have some that glow in the dark. That's awesome. Leanne says, isn't that necklace great? And the packaging, wow. Yes, absolutely. And it was all wrapped up in beautiful, like crafting appropriate tissue paper. Like, how cute is that? Seriously, I was like, oh my God, all the tissue paper. So I won't keep it. I'll get rid of it eventually, but I thought for now it's making it easy for me to transport things. Okay. The branding is on point. Absolutely. Okay. Next. Sally, where is it? I didn't realize that Jess sold necklaces. Yeah, she had a few different things in her store. Absolutely. Zebra Kitten, hello. How are you? It's so good to see you. But yeah, if you need to get some sleep, get some sleep. Creative Man said, I would love that paper, would use it again in some artwork. See, I'm not that crafty. I'm really not. Next is Obsession Yarns. Like, actually obsession. Like, we have a joke now. Everything's got like hashtag not obsession. Like, that's the running joke. So I wanted to try something different. Like, this is so bright, it's blowing the camera out. It is really this bright. Like, it's bright, everybody. Like, and it's so soft. This is a boucle yarn. I haven't used much boucle. It's in Portals. It's an 8-ply boucle. And it is just, it's lovely. It's lovely. So it's 100% merino. I'm not, I'll go the other end where it's not quite so crazy. There you go. So you can have an idea of like the texture, but it's so soft. Like, it's like, I wasn't expecting it to be this soft. So yeah, and she puts in a little this free mini skein. It's some 8-ply merino cashmere nylon. I don't know how, I should weigh it, but my scales are inside. I took them in. Again, some more amazing tea, but I have not drunk this one yet, but I will. I have to double check all the ingredients is the problem. But this one's a chamomile. So I have to just double check it. Hopefully it's just, chamomile. But Abby says to me this morning, Mom, you need to calm down. You're angry at everything this morning. She's like, yelling at the truck, yelling at the car. So maybe I need some chamomile calm. Maybe. Also, I got these amazing, again, some more gorgeous stitch markers. These ones have got really big lobster claws. But it was just for me, it was, see how you probably can't see it because of the lighting, but there's actually like an abalone sheen on these hearts. And they go like teal blues and stuff. They are gorgeous. And they're so light as well because they are plastic. So, I mean, this bit's metal, but this bit's plastic and they're super duper light. And again, she's tossed in a little kitty catter. I don't know if you can see that that's a cat. There you go, little cat. So many little goodies. Put that now with a little note. I was actually like, I got some, I won't talk while I roll. I got some absolutely beautiful notes and cards from people and messages after the Big Wool show. So quick. That's the downside of tissue paper. Okay. Whoops. Oh my gosh, who is this one from? And then we had the art bat from 11T1 Windmills, and she tosses in what she calls a Rolag reject. So they're not really rejects. These just come off the card, are a bit wobbly in some places, and they'll spin up nicely. They just didn't make the grade to get into the shop. Enjoy a little treat from my studio. So do you know what's really weird is? I wanted to buy this packet of Rolags. This was the color, the teal through to the purple, and they were sold out. There was none. But this was what I wanted. But so I settled for this amazing bat. I don't know what the, actually there's a thing in there. Maybe that'll give me the fiber content, because I'm a bit nervous because I realized I forgot to read the fiber content. So I'm gonna, maybe that's a, or is that just to show me where the start is, do you think? I'll open it. Oh, that was merino, I know that. Once you take these out of the bags, it's so hard to get them back in. Oh, it's triple wide. I wonder if I can hold it up. I'll go. Oh, there we go. We have another option. There we go. So I'll show the colors again in a second, but this thing is triple wide. It feels like it's all merino, honestly, but that means nothing. I'm going to flip him over. There we go. Oh, that looks so good. So we'll start at the bottom and I'll bring it through. And there's all like gold sparkle through it. So, but it is feeling very merino-ish. So I will double check her website before I get too far down the rabbit hole on that one. We'll just see if I can, you know, roll it up and get it back in the bag. Good luck. Cross your fingers, everybody, that I can get it back in the bag. I did it. But that was amazing. That bat is just gorgeous. Sorry, again with the crunching of the packaging. Can't wait to spin that. So if you guys haven't seen, I've got a video on how to diz a bat, because I'm obsessive compulsive spinner. I don't like lumpy bumpy yarn. And then she buys boucle. Anyway, so I tend to diz my bats before I use them. So I'll probably diz this one. But yeah, this colorway here, this was the exact, like this was the packet I would have bought if they had any left. So I get to spin it up and have a look. It's like a trial run before I beg and borrow and, you know, for her to make more Rolags. Because, like, I can make Rolags. I just don't want to. There's so much work in bats and Rolags, honestly. It is just insanity. So if I can buy them, that someone else has already done them, I'm in. So this was my order from 11T1 Windmills. And we have one more left. What does diz the bat mean? So basically a diz is a small round disc of some description with some holes in it, and you draw your fiber through the hole, so it's like a pin drafting situation, so that you can make a more even yarn. And that's not, it's not perfect. It depends on how you diz it. But sorry, something's gotten into my nose and I've got a bit of an itchy nose. But you definitely go and check out the Diz the Bat video, and I talk all about dizzes and about why I'm dizzing the bat. It's an older video, but it's pretty clear. I don't think it's terrible. So yeah, definitely go and check out that. Sneaks into the back of the room because you're late. Shocking. You've missed all the parcel openings except for one. This one's finished, Claire. Now, Fortune Yarn Company, this is her business logo. So she gets this printed. So that is so amazing and cool. Fluffy worms from Sal. Yeah, it's totally a fluffy worm. I'll probably put up like a short or something like that of just me spinning that little worm. Do we know who sells dizzers? Francis, it depends on where you are. I sell the Margicraft brass diz. Those things will last forever. But it's basically, I've seen people use a milk bottle cap. You need something that's a little concave. So a shell, a milk bottle cap, whatever. Look, at a pinch, I use a button. Like if it's got the right size hole, I'll use a button. But I sell the Margicraft brass dizzers. But check Etsy. There's heaps of places. If anyone's got a favorite diz place, pop it over in the Fiberific fun zone because you can't add links in here. Where are we? Will Totes have to watch the replay? Yeah, you will. Jackie says that I use washers because I have them. I think personally most washers are too big. I like a couple of mil for my like little dizzing hole. There's probably a word for that. I don't know what it is. The dizzing hole, the fluff hole where the fluff comes out of. But the Margicraft one is fantastic. So you've got some different sizes, but how it works is the more you pull out. So if you've got something with like a bigger hole on it, like, a big one, then you'll have like a huge thick piece of the roving. Whereas if you have a fine, like a little one, I don't even have anything handy. If you get one with a fine hole, like a button, you'll pull out a fine amount and you'll actually be able to spin lace weight from it, no problems. Oh, and that's the other thing. Absolutely. Do I have one hand? No, I don't, because again, it's inside. No, wait a second. It's here. Ha. You could use one of these. Now, this one's a bit too flexible, personally, I think. But you've got all the different holes. Like for me, I would probably diz down here at this 1.5 or 2 mil. They would probably be the biggest I would go to. I wouldn't go to any of these other ones, but it depends on what you want. You're the spinner. It's your yarn. You can do whatever you want. That's the advantage of spinning your own yarn. Lisby says, my printer is a wuss. He doesn't do tissue paper. Yeah, I noticed that he doesn't do tissue paper because I checked. Because it would have been something like, look, can you imagine little ninjas all over the tissue? There's a place down in the Gold Coast that does it, though. But it's expensive. And I'm just like, oh, do I really want to do it? You can do it internationally. It works out way cheaper. But I like to use local printers where I can. Sally has popped a link up for the Diz video, so right-click that and then you can watch it later. So, yeah. Jackie says, I was dizzing hand-combed alpaca, found smaller was too small. Fair enough. Fair enough. Use the giant hole if you want to spin chunky yarn. Absolutely. Okay, so do we want to see what's in this last package? This is actually the first one that I bought, okay? So this one, this is the one that I posted on Instagram. So if you've already seen it, if you follow me on Instagram, but it was just like, this was the one that I wanted from the beginning of the show. And I thought, oh, well. And then at the end of the show, at like 6 o'clock on Sunday when I started shopping, it was still there. So I was like, it was meant to be mine. It was so meant to be mine. Okay, so let's have a sip of tea. Jancy says, try using rubber stamp instead of printing. No, sorry, Jancy. I want all over print and like there's no time for that sort of thing. Like, yeah, if I can't, I use just plain tissue paper because I don't have, that's not going to happen. It's a great idea if you've got like 1 or 2 to do, but when you need to do like 200-300, like minimum, yeah. Yeah, I actually think, like, with everyone talking about the dizzers here, I think that it's really important to remember that having a concave thing to feed into makes a difference. It actually helps the fibers be drawn in, where when it's flat, they sort of hit it and they kind of come in a little. If it's concave, it's a natural draw down. So I think that if you're going to buy a diz, make sure that it's got this I'm going to go and grab one of the Margecraft ones. Hang on. If I was a diz. Oh, of course, right at the bottom. Well done. Come here, you. Okay. So this is the Margecraft diz. And it comes with a little drawing hook. It's all tiny, tiny hook, and it can fit through all of the holes. But you see how it's concave? And you draw through that way. So you put your little hook in, you pull it through, and you draw through so that all the fibers can gently draw in. So concave is better. If you don't have a diz and you look at you guys, you want me to open up the package. If you're just using a button or something because that's what you have, that's fine. But if you're actually going to go out and buy a diz, make sure you get a concave diz. It doesn't have to be huge, just a little bit of an angle there. I'm not sure if you can really see it. Louis inside barking. He doesn't like being by himself right now. So yeah, just a bit of an angle there. So that's the brass ones from Margecraft. So parcel time. Last one. This is our last one. All right. Kerry's got to go to work now. Sorry, Kerry. The suspense is killing us. This little haul did not break the bank. Wait a second. This little bit did not break the bank, did it? Don't look near enough for that. No, it doesn't break the bank. Are you talking about the diz? The diz is like $30. Anyway, all right, here we go. So this was my haul. So beautiful, so soft, both of them. So they are in the amethyst colorway. This is a slubby yarn, so it's got like actual like chunks of stuff. So that's what I'm laughing about. Like, I like a nice smooth yarn, and then Chantel goes and buys a boucle and a slubby. The colors are just beautiful. Like, the camera is showing them up very nicely. They're soft and subtle, but still amazing. See, the good camera. This guy's being good today. I'm loving it. So, but they matched. So we've got the merino nylon slubby yarn, as well as a beautiful kid mohair silk. And again, super soft and delicious. And they match. Now, this is part of a set that came with an extra little gift. So it's from the Orphic Glow, which they do. I call them rocks. Abby calls them crystals. Abby's into crystals. So we got her. So it was a calming set, which was hilarious. So in this little baggie, we've got some selenite, which apparently helps charge. I don't know. Look, you know what? I'm probably not the best person to talk about this, but aren't these pretty? Aren't these shiny rocks pretty? So we've got clear quartz. And Abby, the professional rock person in our household, said that these are really good size and good quality. So I was like, okay, Abby. There's some lapis lazuli. I don't even know how to say that, but I love this one. It makes me think of the world from space. So I love that one. And then we've got some more amethyst. That's amethyst? Yeah, amethyst. So, and apparently having the three of them together is very calming and relaxing. And Abby was just like, you need to get out those stones today. She calls them stones to me because she knows that's what I call them. But anyway, oh, I forgot the other one, the white one, the selenite. So I'm not very woo. I like them because they're pretty. But Abby gets out there at, on full moon and lays all her little rocks in the grass so they can be recharged. I don't know how that works. But anyway, so she's into it. And I get her the pretty rocks. I like the rocks. I think they're beautiful. So, that's that. As to what I'm going to make, how dare you? How dare you ask that question, Jancy? How dare you? I have no idea what I'm going to make. I bought them because they're pretty. That was it. They're pretty. They're coming to my house. There we go. Take that bright pink thing away. I think they confuse the colors. Yeah, it does. That's weird. Yeah, no, I bought everything because it was pretty. That's it. Lapis lazuli. See, I thought it was lapis lazuli as well, but Abby says it's lazuli. I don't know. I have no idea. It's pretty. I'm not into that sort of stuff, but I still think it's beautiful. Like, does that make sense? Like, I'm not into the whole, this is a box of stones that will, of crystals that will help to calm your spirit. I don't know if I agree with that. I think they're beautiful. Either way. Ruth has a necklace made out of the one with the name that I can't say. That sounds beautiful. Well, you know what? That's probably exactly where she's gotten it from, because Abby was a Minecraft addict. Like, when she was younger, she was in those big server rooms kicking butt. So she's probably learned it from there. The stones don't get made into anything. Abby keeps them in little selenite bowls in her bedroom, and she's got them all like around the place. She's got tons. I got this set because I wanted the yarn. I thought Abby would love the stones, the crystals. Sorry, they're crystals. Yeah, this Abby was actually like ticked off at me this morning because I took these back temporarily, and I said I'll give them back this afternoon. I just want to show everybody in the live stream that's what this set was. But these were surprisingly large. Like, some of the crystals that Abby's bought are quite small and quite tiny. And when I got the parcel, I was like, gosh, that's got some heft. So yeah. People, I actually did a swatch before knitting my socks. You should be proud. We are proud. We are proud. So yeah, so that's we've got her some rocks, some stones. But all the colors that I got, none of them go together. Okay, I'm going to just bring over the yarns. Come here, little yarns. Come to me. Oh. All right, let me just move the rocks. Do you know what? Like, some of these colors actually do look okay together. I mean, this one here is just a bit cray. That's so soft. I want to make something around my neck for that. That's just going to be total squish. That's just squishable. So this was my haul. So it's a bit hard to see that one because it's like all the minis. So many little pretties. But yeah, like, there's no like combined big wool show project that's coming out of these. Something will be made with that, something will be made with that, and something will be made with these. So, like, when you guys buy yarn, do you always have a plan? I don't have a plan most of the time. Sometimes I do. If I'm buying like huge quantities, I've got a plan. No, sometimes I don't. Sometimes when I buy huge quantities, I have a plan. So Savage Knits loves to make socks. Awesome. Freaky says, I'm working on socks when I'm not typing. That's fantastic. I'm making a pair 2 at a time on the foot, started top down, tried them on. It's too tight. I didn't swatch. Oh, zebra kitten. I did think you were abducted by aliens when you did a swatch, because you're like totally like swatchless. You don't swatch for anything. But Lisby's good. So that's a hard no from me. That's a hard no to cleaning your office. So yeah. Francis says never, no plan. Jancy says lol, no plans. Are you over in the swatch studio yarn alchemist with Frenchie? Oh, that wasn't for me. Sorry. No plan. Just loving adding beautiful yarns to my stash. That was me too. What's the plan? Yep, agreed. I'm like, huh? What now? What now? Knit Spin Girls. This is it. This is the answer. 99% of the time, I buy because it's pretty. Yeah, that's exactly right. Holly says sometimes I have a plan. Sometimes I don't have a plan. Yeah. And this also happens. Plans change after you buy the yarn, or the other one. You buy the yarn, it eventually arrives, you forgot what you wanted it for. Done that. I don't have a plan either when I buy yarn. Sometimes I find a pattern that calls for a certain type. Yep. And sometimes I like, because being in Australia, there's a lot of yarn we don't have here, right? Like it's the last few years, it's actually a lot easier to get the yarns. But like when I was first learning how to knit and crochet, it was just like, that pattern looks amazing. What can I substitute that yarn for? Because you had to instantly think of what was the substitute, because you just couldn't get it here. So now that we can get a lot more here, I find I'm substituting less. Zebra Kitten says, it was my daughter-in-law's birthday, so she's getting the socks for her birthday. Well, when I finish them. I did a small tidy up of my craft room yesterday, and I found a list of projects I bought yarn for 2 years ago. I've made none of them. That is awesome. Louis is like howling. He's inside doing the barky howl thing. All right, I'm going to move all these. All the squish is gone. You'll never see it again. You might see it again. You might see it again one day. So let's go here. Okay. Gail says, I've got to go. It's our opening tonight for Fire and Water. My friend and me have a whole room full of fiber art, knitting, crocheting, felting. Wish me luck. I'm nervous. Good luck. You'll have fun. You'll have a good time. That's awesome. Jenna says, have anyone buy yarn with the plan in mind? Then when you're trying to make your plan, it didn't work out, and then it did not work out, and then you are stuck with the yarn. Sometimes that's frustrating, especially if it's yarn you weren't like 100% in love with, and then you're just like, what am I going to use this for now? You know, like I felt that way about the Bendigo Bloom. I don't like Bendigo Bloom, like just to put that out there. Bendigo Bloom is not my favorite. In saying that, I bought in their very first batch many years ago. I didn't like that. I destashed it. I bought like 4 balls of every color. Like for those of you that don't know, Bendigo balls are 200-gram balls. So they're big chunks of yarn. So I bought a sweater quantity for each color because the colors were phenomenal. But it was itchy as anything. I couldn't wear it. I could barely work with it. So yeah, I destashed. Didn't get all my money back, but I got a good chunk of my money back. Jancy says, wishes I'd swatched first. The socks I'm doing now is the 3rd time because they haven't fit. Oh, wow. It's sort of the designer spotlight they did. For who was this on? I've missed something. As usual. I'd love to stay up at the school run with my granddaughter in the morning. Absolutely, Zebra Kitten. 100% appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for dropping in, and try and have a nice nap before you have to get back up again. Savage Knit says, I try to only buy yarn when I have a project planned. I do, however, like to have extra sock yarn on hand. We've had these discussions before about how some people are stashers and some people just buy for the project, and they're also project monogamists usually. I don't quite understand, because I'm a hoarder, so I have all of the yarn just in case I feel the mood to make something at 2 o'clock in the morning. That has happened. That is me not being able to sleep and then just going stuff it and getting up and getting out of bed and then diving into the stash and finding something and sitting quietly on the couch in a silent house. And the dog creeps out and sits next to me like, what's going on? And you just sort of sit there quietly working away on a project. Don't put the TV on or anything, just in the silence of the house, 2 a.m. That's my favorite time. Not if I've got to get up at 6 the next morning, then it's not my favorite time, but I really love to do that. Now, you guys, I had an idea this morning, and I don't know if you guys will be what you'll think, okay? So let me know in the chat. But basically, I want to make something with some of the cotton that we got in that Knit Picks haul. Do you guys remember the Knit Picks haul that I unboxed a couple of weeks back? But I don't know what I want to make. So I've brought my hook bag. So I've got all my hooks. Well, I mean, that's not all. It's all my clover hooks. And I've got the box of cotton just there. So do you guys have something simple that I could make, that we could sit down and you guys could step me through what you want me to do? I know that sounds a bit odd, but I just thought it might be something to do. I frequently start my projects at 10 p.m. Couldn't do that if I didn't have a substantial stash. That is true. That is true. Unless, of course, you had the stuff for your next project there and ready, then you could start that project, which, you know, is legit. So, yeah, it is. That's confusing. I've got, how many viewers do you guys say that we've got right now? Because I've got a screen here from the same software with 2 different counts. It's so odd. And they're like totally different. Totally different. A table runner. All right, I'm going to reach over and grab this box. What did I do? Oh, no, I took the cotton inside, didn't I? Hang on. You guys can just stare at the box lid. I just need to check it back. I have a messy bag of messy that's got my cotton in it. So we have a choice of our dishy or our cotton. Hang on, let me just change the, there we go. Oops. So we've got all our dishy colors, which I'm pleasantly surprised about how soft it actually is, right? So we've got the dishy, and I'm just digging out the cotton because it's mixed in here with some other stuff. Cotton, and cotton. Oh, no. Okay. Over there for you. All righty. All right, so what have we got? We've got the 3 blues. Let's see if I can't make it all fit on the screen. There we go. So there's 8 cotton colors. All right, it jumped. All righty. Okay. 46. Yeah, okay, because I've got one thing that's saying around that sort of, you know, mid to high 40s, and then I've got another one that says like 30. And I was just like, I'm so confused. What now? All right. We need 100 more likes. Yeah, sure, Freaky. We'll totally get 100 more likes. Let's make the like thing appear. Let's see if it'll work. No, I'm on the wrong screen. There you go. Everyone click that like. I love this graphic. It's my favorite at the moment. Sorry. Okay, so we've got some colors. Oh no, Leanne was in top chat. Oh, Leanne, rookie mistake. Ah. I agree. Now, Twilight Daggers, I bought, I'm not sure if you saw the live, but I bought like a pack. Do I have the paperwork? This was the pack, the Cotland Value Pack. Friendship bracelet is what this was. So that was a pack, and it was on sale, and I think it was like 20 something bucks. I'm like, I'll have that. Jen Deals on it, 39 likes and 46 watching. Wow. No, that's all good. All right. So yeah, so I was tossing up, like I was like, oh, should I try one of those granny square dishcloths you guys were telling me about? And, you know, do it in like this stuff, or should I try something different and then do it in this? I don't know, because I bought these because I wanted to try the yarn. I didn't really have a plan in mind. I mean, this one, at least you get the book with like the stuff in it. So, oh, Jen is anti-social media, so she hasn't seen my finished queen. Oh, Jen, it is beautiful. I put some photos up for John, who's in Facebook prison, over on over in the Fiberific Fun Zone. Goodness me. It looks beautiful. Let's just go with that. It looks absolutely beautiful. Crazy Aunt Nicole said, I would use the Dishy to make a soap sock. Okay. We can do that. Absolutely. So let's start with this one because it's open. What's your, I'm assuming, like for me, a soap sock is like a little drawstring bag that it's kind of like a little bit closed, like Twilight Dagger says, you know how you hate Bloom? I can't deal with cotton. I hate the feel of it. I hate working with it. Aggravates my RSO, but I love Bloom. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Okay, so a soap sock, for those wondering, John, it's a little baggie that you put your bar of soap into, so you're less likely to drop it, and you actually use it, and it's a bit like a washer. I personally think if you're sharing a bathroom, each person has their own block of soap. I've got a thing about sharing blocks of soap. So the block of soap, each block would get their own soap sock. So, yeah. So, try those over there. These colors are beautiful. I have to think of something to make with them. They're very good colors. Okay. Do you have a go-to soap sock pattern? I'm going to hazard a guess that yarn will need. I'll try 4. Is there a go-to soap sock pattern, or should I just, you know, or can you give me some instructions that I can follow along with blindly? Not for crochet. Okay. I'm going to crochet one. So let me just hit Ravelry, see if we can't find something free. Ravelry. There we go. Alrighty. Patterns, crochet. I might move my keyboard back out of the way. Advanced search. Let's go to advanced search. I don't have a screen capture set up with audio, so I can't share. Oh, wait a second. I could share the screen. I could totally share. I'm in different software. Sharing the screen. Click the button. Share. Share screen. Share screen. Got it. Okay, and then we're going to choose a Chrome tab. Ravelry. Share. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that one there. Okay. Let's see if we can't make it a bit smaller. That doesn't fill the screen. There we go. That still doesn't. That's annoying. That's annoying. Okay, so we want to make a, what is it? A soap sock. Soap sock. Bam. No, soap sock, you Gumby. Louis sounds really stressed in there. Soap socks. Nothing matches. What else is it called? It's a soap bag. No. Oh, hang on a second. It's because we had category socks. All right, soap bag brings up some choices. Let's have a look. Oh, let's make them free because I'm being a cheapskate right now. So free soap bag. Something basic. I like the look of, what do you guys think of that one? The little basic soap saver. What do you think? And it'll be in pink and white stripes. Does it actually use Dishy? Wait a second. Fifth from the left. Hang on, I got to go back. I got to go back. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth from the left. That uses Scrubby. Yeah, that's a hard no from me. Yeah, dice bags would work as well. There's so many choices. I don't want to be stuck. Do you know what? I am just going to use this one here. Download in English, please. All right, I'm going to stop sharing because I don't have permission from the designer to share the pattern because I've just literally downloaded it and have never contacted the designer. It doesn't look tricky. All right. What's his name? Roberts. Oh, no, that's, I was going to say that the designer is Duck and Rabbit, Patricia Rodriguez. Lots of notes. Seriously, Patricia Rodriguez. It is a soap saver. It does not require 4 pages. Okay? Wow. All right. DC single. Okay, it's in American. Okay, so the actual pattern itself. Oh my goodness. All right. Designers out there, those of you that are designers, I know that in this day and age, a lot of people transfer their files onto their iPads, what have you. But there's still lots of us that print, okay, that will go out and that will print our patterns. And 4 pages for a 23 repeat, like a 23 round pattern, where the actual instructions fit on a half a page, does my head in. Oh, Silver Sparkle, I have you. I'll put you back in the mat. All right, so we're going to start. We need some chains. Okay, then Do you know what? I'm so stressed out. What if this is a hard pattern or it's written hard and I can't follow it while I'm talking to you guys? I'm stressed right now. I'm totally stressed. I'm like, oh, was this a good idea? Okay, we're going to skip the first one and then 10. Oh, dear. So do you guys have, like, do you prefer to print or to use digital patterns? Like when you're working on them, like when I'm storing patterns, I store digital, right? So I like a PDF. I like to be able to download it and save it. I like to store a digital pattern. But when it comes to working patterns, I'm about 50-50. I've recently gotten my hands on an iPad and I'm adjusting to using, what's that thing called again? Knit. Oh my God, what's the software called? Knit Companion. And I like it. It's good, but I still like to scribble on my patterns, and I'm not willing to spend more on Knit Companion. So I'm just, while you guys put that in there, I'm just going to do a quick count. So it's did I stitch in there first? I can't even tell what I've done. I'm going to pull it back. I did. All right. So it's 13 chains. I'll just tell you it's 13 chains. Skip one, and then 10. Okay. I didn't skip the right one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to do an increase of 3. I mean, I don't consider that an increase of 3 if you do 3 stitches, just so you know. It's an increase of 2 because 1 would have been there anyway. 3 on the corner and go around the back and do another 9. And sneaky work over your tail so that I don't have to deal with it later because it's not a project I care too much about. Okay, I'm having a quick look here. Lots of digitals, lots of printed. Everyone's a bit divided. Kirby says, I've been trying to be conscious about saving the digital patterns, but some I still prefer to have as printed. Absolutely, I agree. The other problem I have is sometimes my devices are flat. And when I want to work on something, I want to work on it now, and I may not be sitting somewhere near a PowerPoint. For the Queen, I use Knit Companion on the iPad. For the Celtic cable throw, I printed the pattern, but I'm also watching the YouTube. See, and that's the thing. I'm enjoying using Knit Companion for the Queen. But for other things, I prefer the print. It's so weird. I'm so, changeable. Knit Spin Girl says, I'm a print girl. Ruth says, store them in PDF, but print to work on them. I use PDF Expert, but also print the pattern out. I think Knit Companion is great, particularly for lace with lots of charts. I just don't like that I have to subscribe every year for it. Yeah. Unfortunately, this seems to be where everything's going. I'm finding software that I used to just be able to buy, like, for YouTube, like, the Adobe softwares and print shop, Photoshop and Lightroom and all that. I don't think you can buy a standalone version anymore. You have to buy the subscription. So, and that's frustrating. I know if it's going to be complicated, that word's for me. I know if it's going to be a complicated pattern, then I print it out like the Queen. Otherwise, I just save the patterns on my phone. Hey, Pearly, welcome to the chat. First time catching the live. I've recently started using Knit Companion, but not sure if I'll use it enough to subscribe to the extras. That's exactly where I'm at as well. That's exactly right. And that's the thing. Yeah, it's like $40 a year if you want all the extras for Knit Companion. It's not inexpensive. I use an iPad, suck the PDF into books. I don't know what that means. And scribble and erase to your heart's content. Kathleen says, if you like to scribble on patterns and want a program, try GoodNotes app. It's my go-to storage. Okay, GoodNotes. All right, and that's on iPad. Jancy says, I carry a battery pack. I've got one too, not always charged. I've always got to check on that. It's currently charged right now because I'm very lucky. My iPad uses the same power connection as my phone, my earphones, my headphones, and my other. I've got a little, this is my big heavy duty laptop that lives in here. It doesn't leave the shack. But for my personal use, I've got a little laptop, and that all uses the same connection. So I've got a really good solid power brick that could do all of them, and it can actually charge the laptop twice and phone 3 or 4 times. And yeah, it looks really divided. Subscription bugs me, particularly if it's something I only use occasionally. Yep. Jackie says, yeah, I just had a look at that PDF. Totally no need for it to be so many pages. Oh, absolutely. That quote. She's got it's a good quote. The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. That quote takes an entire page in enormous font with a colored background. So it's a slightly yellow background. So it will print an entire color page. So yeah, totally unnecessary. And they've got everything set up in landscape, not portrait as well. So I don't understand. I don't understand at all. GoodNotes. I picked up one that Kim told me to get. I haven't played with it too much yet, but it was like a one-off cost and it was fairly cheap. So yeah. Yeah, Ozpost has been the bane of everybody's existence lately. Let me just count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 and 9. And then what do we do at the end to balance it out? Nothing. But there's 3 stitches on the other end. Oh, hang on. They've just written 1 increase. So over here we do the 3 stitch thing, I'm assuming. 1, 2, and 3. And then slip stitch. Ochi dochi. Okay, we have got something there. That looks like the bottom of a bag, doesn't it? Very stock standard bottom of a bag. There's GoodNotes and GoodNotes 5. All right, I'll have to have a look. Pearly Shaw is asking about other people's international deliveries. Knit Picks took 6 weeks and they didn't pack one of the balls of yarn I ordered. Oh, so yeah, like mods, you've got a task. Let me just see if I can I do anything with them? I would like to block them entirely from this channel. Okay, there we go. All right. Yes, thank you, everybody. That's awesome. Okay. So yeah, so international shipping. I'll go big. I'll go big for this. International shipping is an issue. Australian shipping is an issue. Unfortunately, we are in a situation where there is a massive backlog of post everywhere. 6 weeks is fine. 6 weeks for an international parcel that you didn't pay for express post on, that is totally fine. That they didn't pack a ball of yarn, that's annoying. Contact them. So from what I've heard, I've not done anything yet, but from what I've heard, they fix problems very quickly. So if you let them know that it's missing, they'll get it to you or refund you or whatever it is that you guys decide. But 6 weeks is fine. I mean, we're a little bit spoiled. Companies like Hobie are getting things from Denmark to Australia in 2 weeks. So we're getting used to that kind of service. Knitpicks uses USPS. And USPS to Australia at the moment, nightmare. So we'd just be grateful that we're even getting them. Australia Post has got like serious issues. So if you had a look at your tracking, you probably would have found that it may have been stuck in Australia somewhere for a little while. Australia Post had a massive problem where one of their, or actually I think it was more than one of their actual sorting centres ended up closed because of staff having COVID. So they ended up not being able to do what they needed to do because they didn't have the people to do it. So we just have to sort of pull on our big girl panties and go, do you know what? We have to wait. The thing that they missed a Boucle Yarn, that's a whole nother issue. But Post at the moment in general, it's not being our friend. It's being nobody's friend. You can't guess. You can't rely. There's no rhyme or reason to why orders are getting to where they are, when they are. I have something that'll be shipped express post to one customer and another customer is 2 suburbs away from them who did not express post. Theirs arrived first. I don't know why. So, yeah, it's just an absolute like poo-poo pile right now. Okay. Crazy Nicole said USPS have suspended delivery to Australia. Yeah. I think they paused it. I don't know if it's back on or not yet. But yeah, there's whole countries. Sweden doesn't ship to Australia at all at the moment. Is it Sweden? I think it's Sweden. Sweden's not shipping to Australia at all. So it's a little bit weird. Oh yeah, Game Widow says 500 staff ended up in quarantine. That's a huge number for a company to lose. So I missed all the fun trying to recall a password for Google. Switzerland, not Sweden. Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, they're not shipping to Australia at all. The entire country is just like, nope. They delivered via DH. I don't know what that is. DHL maybe, which transferred to Australia Post Global. And yes, the parcel did get stuck at point of entry to Australia. And you're in Melbourne. Okay, yeah, that's why it took so long. Because I got my Knitpicks order in 4 weeks. I ordered the Knitpicks and the Hobie on the same day. The Hobie arrived 2 weeks later. The Knitpicks arrived. So yeah, it's just what it is. We just have to sort of hold our breath. But that whole missing ball of yarn, contact them. They will fix that, or they should. Lisa says a lot of the distribution centres are closed in New South Wales and Victoria at the moment. Yeah, it's making post a nightmare, absolute nightmare. But there's nothing we can do. We just have to, accept that post is taking longer than usual. These people are sick, like they're not at work because they're not allowed to be at work. Yeah, Alison, here we go. Alison says a TNT depot was sitting on my package from overseas for almost 4 weeks because that depot was closed for 3 weeks because of COVID. Yeah. There's a lot of that going on. All right, back to the soap server chain 1. I hate it when people make up their own stitch names for things. Because for me, an increase is 2 stitches, not 3. So 1 increase. I'm just double checking their thing. Increase. I mean, they've described their increase of 3. And then they just talk about 1 increase all the way around. So I'm going to do this row and then I'm going to count and see if I'm whinging for no reason. So, drop down camera. Thank you, Pearly. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to be doing their 3 increase description where they say to increase just to see if, we get it. 10, 1. That just felt in the wrong spot there. So that was our slip stitch. No, that's the next possible spot. So chain 1. All right. We're doing it. I'm just doing what the pattern says. I'm not trying to think too far ahead or I'll get confused and I'll be annoyed. This may be a very bad advertisement for this pattern. Or you guys will work it and do it in like 4 seconds going, I don't know what a problem is. So that was the 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then increase at the end. And 3. And then 1, 2. What? Oh, this is like, I've done something wrong. I have to have done something wrong. They're making a squared out bottom, except mine's come around wrong. Hang on. Yeah, I've done something wrong. If the color is coming off my hand, should I soak with vinegar or heat as well? Is it wool? Is my question. Is it wool or cotton? What are you working with? If it's wool, I would, and it's black, there's a good chance there's just too much dye in it and no amount of heat setting is going to help that. But definitely give it a soak with some vinegar and a bit of heat to see how it goes. But you may still lose color just because it's like got too much dye, because that's the problem, especially with like dark colors. I'm just seeing if I can pull back and maybe it is wool. Yeah. Okay. So your vinegar and your heat will be what color sets it for you. You don't need to get it too hot. Like think of like tea drinking temperature is hot enough. Get in a good glob of vinegar, put in like 50 mils of vinegar into a saucepan. I wouldn't even do it in a saucepan. You don't know what kind of dye this is unless you've got a pan that you use for dyeing. I don't know what to suggest that you would even use, because it'll be the dye that is bad. Best way to poke a bear virtually. Trial the tricks you know. Yeah. So I'm pulling back and working into an earlier stitch that I made. Like I wouldn't have counted that stitch. It was the slip from the previous row. So, but I'm going to try it because it could be, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, you've got dye pots. Good. All right. So yeah, just in your dye pot, like 50 mils of vinegar, your water. Make sure your yarn is covered. Don't let it bubble. Don't let it boil, but just be warm and let it cool down in the pot and then give it a rinse. Okay, I think that made the difference. So there's a slip stitch from the previous row I'm having to work into. And then a single, and then another bunch of crap. I'm not even reading that, John. Dye. Are you poking the bear on purpose? I don't know. Francis, I personally would never, ever put my wool in a microwave. You cannot control the heat and you could burn it so fast. And if you put dyed wool in your microwave, you cannot use that microwave for food. So unless you've got a second microwave that you use for dyeing, dye is toxic. And inside your microwave is that little vent in the corner that's covered with a cardboard thing. Your dye particles get into that, and when the air pushes, because it sucks through it, that is in your microwave forever. So dye just logged on. Dye, salt does not color set wool. Salt will color set cotton. Too. A little while ago, dye, I had a big old rant about it. And now people talk about it just to poke the bear because they know, my feels on it. But you don't know my feels on it. So I will not, I will not say anything further. 15 times 100 balls. This could take a while. I would skein the balls before you put them in. Absolutely. Creative Man says, no microwave, no way. Burnt my yarn, wasn't good. Yeah, Francis does have a second microwave for dyeing, so that's good. That's good safety. Still personally would never use a microwave to dye yarn or fiber. But as long as you've got one for safety and you're happy to do it, then that's, you know, you do you. So yeah. Yeah, so we have this conversation. So what? Because so like back to the big camera. Hello. So I've got it set up that it brings up the like, subscribe, like the second this camera comes on now. Like, yeah, it's all automated. When you're dyeing wool, there is a purpose for salt. There's absolutely a reason to use salt. So if you're mixing up your solution, you want your citric acid or your vinegar, and you add in an equal part of a salt solution, what that will do is it actually slows down the dye take up and creates, because it does it so slowly, it does give you a more even dye. It does try to make it a bit more even. So there is a place for salt, but it does not color set. Only acid and heat color set wool. Okay, so it's definitely the salt serves a purpose in dyeing wool, but it has nothing to do with the actual color setting. It has something to do with how the yarn, the dye is taken up in the yarn, but it doesn't color set it at all. The bat you got from his 11:1 William, yes, it was. Yes, absolutely. Beer Shiva says, I have separate microwaves, but it comes down to not being able to control or judge the heat, so I rarely use it. Have had patches of superwash yarn melt. Yep, or get firm or crunchy, or if you're doing fiber, it can actually felt it in the microwave. It's for me, it's too much of a risk. I'm not willing to lose a single skein of yarn because I wanted to do it quick, because it's only 20 minutes in a pot. So, you know, Louis is so sad inside right now. Best use of salt, ice on pathways during, well, I mean, it's not an issue for me here in Brisbane, but yes, I've heard that's an excellent use of salt. Hang on, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to go and yell at Louis so he knows that he's not alone in the yard. Hang on. So you guys talk amongst yourselves for a second while I find the thing. Where is it? There it is. So there was an issue. Louis had an issue. The issue was that Tibbles the cat was walking up and down the doorway that Louis can't get out of because the screen's closed. So he's being taunted by the cat. So I'll just push the cat in the house and close the door. Louis was being taunted. Okay, so where are we up to? Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, no, he's still going. I like that one, Artsog. That's cool. Poppy, yeah. Knitspin Girl says, haven't used a microwave, too scared it'll go horribly wrong. There are ways to do it, okay? And I've seen people who teach it. and like they're all like mad for microwave dyeing, and they absolutely love it. And these are people that sell commercial amounts of hand dyed yarn, and they love their microwave dyeing, and they do it in little bursts, like little 30 to 1 minute bursts. And I'm just like, really? Like, I don't want to stand in front of a microwave, pulling the door open, touching things, closing the door. I put it in a pot, put the lid on, and walk away. I set a timer for 20 minutes and go and do something else. So yeah. No, it's Louis. Louis upset. He's sad. So Tibbles the cat. If I ever get a cat again, I'm going to name it Tibbles because that's a perfect cat name. Yes. Do you know what? I can't even take credit. Abby named the cat. Actually, Abby names all the pets now that I think about it. I don't get to name the cat. But yeah, Tibbles is a loon. He's a mountain lion who was supposed to be a small breed female cat. No. All right. I'm just checking where I'm up to. Sorry, camera. Bam, bam, bam. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then, okay, there's 1 space left, so that's where an increase goes. It's looking good. We're supposed to have 30 stitches at the end of this. And then we slip stitch. So it's not clear as to what you slip stitch into, so I'm having a guess. All right, let me have a look here. So 30 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32. But do you know what? I don't even care. That's how much I'm not happy. I don't even care. Like, whatever, 32. I don't care. So single crochet into the same spot, I'm assuming, like I did last time. Our first cat we adopted was called Tiddles. See, when we got Tibbles, Abby was the right age for Meg and Mog. Have you guys all heard of Meg and Mog? Anyway, the farmer next door, he was looking after a kitten called Tiddles, except Abby couldn't say Tiddles because she was little, so she would say Tibbles. And then when we got the cat, she decided to call it Tibbles. Yeah, whatever. If this was something important or it needed to match with something else, then I would care. But right now I could care less. This pattern annoys me. So I'm going rogue. I'm pulling a Kim and going rogue. I don't like the pattern. The pattern's annoying. So, yeah. I like the cotton. I like the hook. The pattern, at this stage, I will try it again when I'm off camera before I make a decision. But right now, I wouldn't recommend it. Jackie's probably sat there as a non-crocheting legend and made it, being all like, I don't know what her problem is. It looks fantastic. I don't see the problem. I'll go around one more. I'm just winging it now. I'm just winging it. Winging it. I do like this cotton. It's nice. I was expecting the Dishy to be quite hard, and it's really not. It's lovely and soft. See, that needs to have 2 spaces before the next corner. Yeah, what I said. I'm totally winging it. You need to put, yeah, that sounds about right, don't I? You need to put the hook and yarn down in step 1. I think Abby's right. I think I'm just a bit stressed at the moment, a bit highly strung and just like angry at all the things. Like, stupid pattern. Grr. It's probably perfectly good. It's probably a perfectly fine pattern. those of you playing at home, I am using the Soap Saver pattern by Patricia Rodriguez, which looks quite adorable. Only 3 people have made it. I probably should have looked at this information. 3 people have made it. Any notes? No notes. But they seem to have successfully made it. Well, one person successfully made it enough to add a photo. So, yeah, I'm just going whatever's. It's a soap bag, whatever's. It's not a blanket for the lounge room. It's not a jumper. Tie-dye has spoken. Well, tie-dye, I'm still going. Go one there and slip stitch there. Don't know if that's the right spot for the slip stitch, but that's where it's going now. And she's rogue. Okay. When I knit soap socks, I usually use Judy's Magic Cast on and increase like a sock toe. And then when I'm finished, I pop the soap into this and then do toe Kitchener closed. Oh, okay. No, I want something I can open and close and change the soap in. Like, you know what I mean? Like not a permanent structure. So this is a little bag. How does the dishy wear? I have no idea. This is my first time. Like legit my first time. Okay, so we're just doing 1SC all the way around. Yeah, I don't know how it wears. Like, it seems to have pretty good reviews from what I can tell of the people who have used it. I bought a whole collection of cotton yarns a little while ago so I could have a play with them because I haven't. The only real Knit Picks yarn I'd used is their lace weight. One of their lace weights and a lot of their Brava acrylic because I do like that. So, yeah. The bat from Lisa is merino as per description, materials, micro merino, Angelic. Excellent. Thank you. That does help. That makes me less stressed out about using it now. For sure. But, yeah, so I don't know anything about the dishy. We'll soon find out once I plop my bar of soap into this bag of bagginess. So tight corner stitches, get in there. Sorry, not in the middle. So out of frustration, I've grabbed a hook and some cotton yarn. I'm going to work out something for you. Thanks. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, look, you know what? I've realized that doing new patterns while live on live stream is probably not the smartest. So, yeah, I remember one time I was working on the Battenberg, I want to say. It's the Phil Grannies, and for the life of me, I could not do it. And I stayed sitting right here. Live stream ended, stayed sitting right here. And then crocheted it up perfectly. And I was just like it was ages. Where are we? I got the Sugar and Spice cotton yarn and it was rough. Not sure I'll get it again. This is soft. So in the ball, it feels strong, if that makes sense. Like not coarse, not itchy, but just tightly spun, right? But once you're using it, it's actually really quite soft for cotton. Okay, I want to say soft for cotton because cotton is dense, so it does have a firmness. Yeah, sugar and cream. Yeah. We can learn together while we giggles at your slip ups. Yeah, do it. Absolutely. Oh, must be off. People coming over and have to tidy. I hate that. Have a good day. I hope they're worthy of the tidy. Sugar and cream cotton is better for a dish rag than a washcloth or a pot holder. Okay. All right. So far, I would use this on my body. Are you going to use my favorite stitch? I love my favorite stitch. Everyone in the chat, what do you think my favorite crochet stitch is? We'll see how well you guys know me. It's a pop quiz. I don't know how many rounds I'm supposed to just do this. It's just one. It's just one. It's all right. I can do one. I'm concerned that it hasn't started, you know, curling up yet. It should be curling up or curling up that way. It's supposed to be a bag after all. Okay. There we go. All right, next. 4 chain, 1 DC, 1 chain. I'm assuming you skip a stitch. Gumby. Like for it to be 17 times and there's 34 stitches, there's somewhere you've got to be skipping stitches. That's all I can say. 4 chain, 1 DC, 1 chain, skip a stitch. Skip. I'm not angry at all. I do like how this yarn, I like how the colors change. For a cotton, I like how it feels. It's a bit firm, don't get me wrong. It's a bit harder on the hands than wool. But it's not splitty. It's not, you know, doing any of the evil that some cotton does. Is it a HDC? Yes, it is. That's right. HDC, half double crochet, or if you're in Australia, half treble, is my favorite stitch. I don't know why I have a favorite stitch, but I definitely have a favorite stitch. I like cotton from the company I like cotton from the company which will no longer be named. I need to find a new cotton now. Can you get nitpicks at yours? I'm assuming you can. I would definitely look into this one as a trial to see if you like it. Voldemort sold cotton. I'm not quite sure which of the many international yarn places that I refuse to use for personal belief reasons you're talking about, but okay. Louis is so sad. I'm not used to making this kind of noise. Oh, we nearly made it around. I'm definitely going to have more than 17. Oh, are you kidding me? So at the start, where they say chain 4, 1 DC, 1 chain, what they don't tell you is that the first chain 4 is and to skip a stitch there, because they don't tell you to skip stitches. So mine dodgy. But you know what? I'm not going back. I'm not fixing it. I refuse. I'm already angry at this pattern. But yeah, look, there we go. It's starting to come around now. It looks like a little boat. I'm a little boat. All right, next round is it more of this? Then the next round is more of this. So I'm going to skip all that and just chain into the gaps. I don't know if it's supposed to. Let me look at the picture. Nope, it's supposed to line up. But you know what? Because I am 5 years old today. Today I'm 5 years old, and is an acceptable answer. Oh my God. I'm going to share my opinion. Share your artwork with me on Instagram. Sure. Do you guys ever get like this with a pattern, or is it just me? Am I alone in is that my official pattern review? Yes, it is. It really is. Oh, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rewrite the pattern. And I'm like legit going to rewrite the pattern. And it's going to be on a single page. I'm going to be able to print it on one page, and that will include a photo. Yeah. And I'm going to like include all the words required to make it. So that's going to be my next task. I'm going to be the angry pattern rewriter. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm just having a read of Chantel's going to make it work. That's right. It may not look like the picture, but it's going to look like something. And yes, my official pattern review is Paintbox Cotton is really nice. Okay. I definitely want to try some Paintbox. I want to try their acrylic as well, like their DK acrylic. I've heard good things. I don't know. Stella League says 100% go rogue when they are stupid. Yeah. And look, you know what? This isn't stupid. It's just full of errors, you know? And there's no reason that it needs to be 4 pages. Like, they've got a graph. They've added a graph in. Again, it's, you know, these things don't, oh, it's not 4 pages. I just stopped scrolling at 4 pages. It's 6 pages because they have a whole page at the end about them. And then they have a whole page that is one single, well, it's like a row of single crochets in diagram with what I'm doing here. That takes up an entire page. Oh, like, I'm glad they're adding all this stuff, but I don't understand why it's taking so much space. Anyway, I'm so angry. Pity we can't put GIFs in the chat. Yeah. I rewrite knitting patterns all the time because they're way stupid. The pattern sounds stupid. And you know what? It could be me. Like, this is what I'm trying to say is, like, aside from the whole there's no reason this is 6 pages long, it was bad enough at 4, but now apparently 6. There's no reason for it. But then the actual written instructions are also dumb. So, you know, they don't give you some information that's required. I'm tempted. Like, what time are we at? Oh, if we were a bit earlier into the stream, I'd be tempted just to go and like use the force on whatever it is that the Game Widow is writing up for me right now. Okay, so that row looks better. Ha ha ha, my row looks better than yours. Like, I'm not kidding. We've just done a round of double crochets and chains, right? The next row says 1 single crochet on each single crochet. There's no single crochets in either of these 2 rows. So I actually think what they mean is 1 single crochet in each stitch around. And I'm not going to do a chain 2 for a single crochet, just so you know. So angry at this pattern. I'll have to tell Abby. She'll be just like, that poor pattern, Mum. That poor pattern. Just copped a bad mood, Mum. So this weekend, I'm off to a sewing retreat, and I'm going to make a bag. It's got like wooden handles and stuff. It should be really interesting. I did not prepare for the fact that I needed to work into the chains and probably made them a dash tight, like a Gumby. Here we go. Worst free pattern. That's the other thing. It was a free pattern. So you get what you pay for sometimes. Absolutely. And it was a free pattern that I didn't look into properly. Only 3 people have made it. Only 1 person posted a picture. I mean, that should say it all. It is in the top row of soap bags. Stella says designers aren't explicit enough and they don't seem to ever try to make their item following their own instructions. So in defense of designers, they're a little bit. Sometimes when you are pattern testing your own pattern, your brain knows what you're trying to do and you don't read the pattern properly. That's why it's always important to get somebody else to test it. Even if it's a mate, you know, someone that you can just go and shout a coffee to or something. So, yeah. Amelia, I had pattern challenges on the weekend. You will get it or make it up. Yep, absolutely. I will end up with a soap bag. It will be quite a ginormous soap bag from all appearances. Luckily, the bar of soap I have is quite large. It's a handmade bar of soap that's beautiful. It deserves a soap bag. Not putting through testers of any kind, then free or not. Yeah, I don't think this was put through any testers, like at all. Like there's yeah, sometimes the SC is capital, sometimes it's not. Yeah. It's in US. It's in US. Absolutely. You can absolutely rewrite and revise. You've got to be careful, obviously, because it has to, it's technically speaking, it's still their idea. So you've got to be careful and aware. Now, if you make a lot of changes to the pattern, then that's fine. But if you've made hardly any changes, then you know, you've got to be prepared for, you know, slap back, because it can happen. I try to write it as if you know nothing, and that's how I do it as well. Absolutely. I am the tester. If I was the tester, right, the printed copy version that I would have in my hand would be like all red, and like I'd be drawing a poop with knives in it, like legit. It would have a poop with that would be my official review is a poop with knives. Yeah. If you have to completely rewrite, I reckon it'll be all right. Oh, like this deserves a rewrite. This is different. This totally needs a rewrite. Also, I could make it in one page, maybe two if I included graphics, but like if I included charts, but one page without charts. And that page would include photo and no whole color page print of some rando quote. That's for sure. I have a hard time with patterns written that assume you know how to make the stitch already because they forget steps. Yeah. Game Widows is working hard. Game Widows, I hope you're writing this somewhere else because it's going to disappear. It's going to disappear. She must get paid by the page. She's got some deal with a paper company. Absolutely. I might have freedom. My friend from over the border thinks we are in the freedom list of councils here in New South Wales. Hope so. Oh, my fingers are crossed for you. Yeah. My fingers are hard crossed. My mum should... The problem is my mum is in the border bubble area, but we're not. So we still can't see her. So it's frustrating. But soon I might just slip stitch into there because I think it's too big. Yeah, but you need to write it down to send it to me. See, this is coming up pretty. It's so pretty. It is about... That's right. It'll be big. Jackie would like to know where you are. So, you know, not street address, but general vicinity if you're willing. Okay. Repeat round 7. I don't know if I want to repeat you done round 7. Your round 7's trash. I'm going to do what I think should have been done for round 7. Skip that, work into the next. Bam. That's what I reckon. Except I twisted my own stitch like an idiot. Come back. Stop being naughty or you will get smacks. So skip the stitch, go into the next. I will do what I reckon needed to be done for round 7. And that will line everything back up nicely. I can smell smoke. I hope I'm not on fire. So by next week, they'll have a new pattern. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. What I'll do is I'll print this one out and then just write not this and scan it. Legit done. Game Widows is going to put her design in the fun zone. That sounds like a good pattern. I love the idea, okay? Like I love the idea of this soap saver. Can I go there? Share. Do I have to? I do. I have to jump through all the hoops again. Share screen. It's a Chrome tab. It is a soap saver. Share. Okay. So I love the idea of this. I think it looks beautiful, but the pattern does not make that. It makes something else. So what I'm going to do is make a pattern that makes that. That's going to be my goal. And I actually think I'm going to stop making whatever the hell this is because it's just making me angry. It's like so disappointing rings. So what I'm going to do is this, and I shall go back to that. There we go. I know what I'm doing. All right. So I'm going to make a version of this pattern, and I'm going to call it the saved soap saver. No, I don't know. I don't know what I'll call it. We could call it a soap bag, like something legit. I'm really good at coming up with names like that just totally describe what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. It made me angry. Bye-bye. Go over there, naughty thing. Guys, it's actually after 12. You guys have been talking to Kim about keeping me on here longer. And losing track of time with my angry crochet of angry. Like that's quite large. Like I could probably fit a bar of soap in long ways in there and nearly stitch it over. So I'm going to have a play. I'm going to get a normal bar of soap. I do have one in the cupboard. I don't normally use it. But I do have a standard bar of soap, and I'm going Chantel's Revenge. There we go. The Angry Soap Saver. Oh my gosh, you guys have got the best names for things. This is why I don't name stuff, all right? The Angry, we need to make a list in the Fiberific Fun Zone of all the possible names that we could name that when I make it better. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend and that you get to do something that you love to do or be somewhere that you want to be. And I hope you all have an absolutely awesome, awesome time. And I will catch you all in the fun zone, but otherwise next week right here. Bye.